Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be looking at a Squier P Bass. This is going to get a new set of strings. We're going to put some Ernie Ball Super Slinkies on. I'm going to clean up the fretboard a little bit, and I think I'm going to clean up the frets. They're a little oxidized. They're looking a little green, especially down here. And the fret ends are a little bit sharp. Not a lot, but a little. So I'll probably just hit them real quick with the file. And then once the new strings are on, we'll set her all up and get her all good to go for playing. So let me just zoom in real quick. We'll get a closer look at what we're going to be doing here. This is a stock bass. There's been no modifications or changes or anything to it. I'll take you down here. See the headstock. There we go. And I'll just give you a quick zoom in on the frets here. You can see they're a little bit kind of got that greenish kind of oxidization. And even up here, it's not as bad, but it's played more in this area of the neck, so that would explain what's happening there. I think the frets are okay. I don't think we need to do any leveling on this, but since we're going to have the strings off, I'll give them a quick check, but we should be good. And yeah, that should do it for this one. So it shouldn't be too long of a video. I might split it into two parts, maybe the cleanup and then the setup, for those who are interested in just watching the setup portion. So let's get the strings off first off, and we'll go from there. Okay, before we get started on the fretwork, I just wanted to show you a close-up of the file I'm going to be using. I'm just going to be doing the fret ends on this particular guitar, this bass. This side of the file here is a flatter, rounded edge side. I don't know if that's, you can see sort of in the light. Those are nice soft rounded edges, so they won't scratch up or damage the fretboard. Now if you flip it over, you'll see this other side, it's a lot shinier. This side has got hard edges on it. So if you're not careful, these hard edges could mark up and cut into your fretboard. Now I'll show you why you might want to use both sides of this file depending on what you're trying to accomplish. But the other sides are where the teeth are. That's where the filing is. So this side here, and then this side here, they're both the same. So I just wanted to give you a kind of a zoomed in look at the file I'll be using. Next, I'll show you the process. Okay, I've started doing some of the fret end dressing. I'm going to show you on a couple of frets here from a couple of different angles just so you can see how I do it. First thing I like to do is take the flat side with the sharp edges, and I'm going to run the file right next to the fret like that and just kind of go forward or light pass both sides, just like that. And then again, and as I'm moving the file, I like to put a little bit of a spin, like a bit of an angle. And all I'm doing is rounding off that sharp edge where the fret meets the fretboard, just like that. You may have to do it a couple of times, and I'm using very, very little pressure here. It's really just the weight of the file resting, and I'm just pushing it. I'm not forcing anything. After I'm done that, I'll flip the file over from this side to this side, the softer side, the rounded edge side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the file forward, and I'm going to twist it like this as I go. And I'm going to basically round off the beveled side of the fret. And again, I'll show you this from a different angle. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I like to hold my finger like this. I hope I'm probably going to block the camera, so I won't do it. But normally what I'll do is I'll go like this, and just to keep a little more control of the file. But in order to show you what I'm doing, I'll not use my left hand, and I'm just going to push the file forward and roll it to the middle of the fret, just like that. And from my angle, like I'll show you from a top angle, you can sort of see the mark, the file mark that I've left. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Same thing, just roll it. Just like that. And again, very little pressure. It's just basically the weight of the file and my finger to guide it. I like to use my finger here just because the file, like you see that, it has a tendency to slip because I'm not really putting a lot of pressure on it. So, but just to show you, I'm not going to hold my finger there. And then I'm looking at it through a magnifying glass so I can see quite well what I've done. And then the final test is, how does it feel? There's no sharp edges. There's nothing sticking out no matter which way I come at that fret, like that. And it seems nice and smooth, where before I could definitely feel the sharp edge. Now this particular guitar, this bass, did not need a lot of attention. It's just a tiny bit of fret sprout happening, just basically due to the spring conditions, right? And it hasn't been done in years, so it just needs a little touch up is all. So I'm going to switch the camera. I'll move up one fret and show you from like a top-down view. So hopefully that'll make it a little easier to see. And with the two views, you'll get a better idea of what I'm doing here. Okay, so this is the fret we'll be doing next. This is the one I just filmed. So I'm just going to show you the same process, but from a top-down view. And hopefully I'll be able to kind of put the two together to get an understanding of what I'm doing. So again, we're going to start with the flat sharp edge side of the file, and I'm going to lay it next to the fret like that, and then I just push it forward, both sides, and then on a second pass, I angle the file slightly like that. And again, very little pressure, just enough to hold it in place. And I'm just trying to round off that little edge where the fret meets the fretboard. And it's improved a lot, but there's still a little sharpness there, and that's the bevel I'm feeling. So I'm going to take the other side of the file, the softer side with the rounded edges, flip that there, and I angle the file slightly like this, and I usually put my other finger here just to control it, and gently push forward and roll the file towards the middle of the fret, just like that. And then I'll do that on the other side as well. Just check my work here. Just a tiny bit more there. Okay. So I've got the camera sort of right above where I'm working, so I'm kind of using the camera to see what I'm doing, which is not ideal, but I wanted to show you. But yeah, that seems okay to me. And you can kind of see, I'm hoping this comes through in the shot. You can see the file mark I've left around the edge of the bevel, and it should be like an even, like almost like a U shape. Like it'll follow the shape of the bevel, and all that is just kind of a way for me to gauge if I've missed a spot. Like say my file slipped, and I missed a spot. It's easier to do if you've got a magnifying glass, or you can zoom in on, well, if you're using a camera like I am. But yeah, that's usually how I go determine what's happening. So I'll do that same procedure for the remainder frets on this side of the fretboard here. I've already done this side up this way. I just got a few more to finish here. And then I'll flip the guitar over and do the same thing for this side of the fretboard. Same exact procedure. And that's just a personal preference. I like to do one side at a time and flip the guitar. I've seen people that will maybe like do one side of the fret and then come back and do the other side of the fret and work their way down the fretboard. It's really up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with. I prefer to do this standing, so I like to kind of get a comfortable working position and go from there. So as far as recommendations, really, it's just a position of comfort for yourself when you're doing this type of thing. Um, so when I'm done, I'll zoom you in a little closer on to show you what these look like. Um, just so you have an idea of what I'm talking about here. Okay, I just wanted to show you what this looks like from the side. Um, this is one I just did, and if you look closely at where the fret meets the fretboard compared to what this one here looks like, you can see how that fret is coming right flush with the fretboard. I've knocked the edges off just a touch on this one here on both sides, and then I rounded it over. So you can kind of see in the reflection around the bevel. It's kind of hard to see because the light is making it look shiny. But it's, I mean, it's really subtle. It's really something you got to look very closely at. It's really just more of a feel thing. Like this one here has got just a tiny bit of sharpness to it, not very much at all. You probably wouldn't even notice that when you're playing. But since I'm doing all these frets and some are worse than others, I'm just, you just do them all because you got all the strings off. It's easier. But I thought I'd show you from this angle. It's a little easier to see. So this one here will look more like this one when I'm done, right? The edges will be a little smooth, like rounded, and the overall bevel will be smoother. It won't have that sharper edge. Now, these bevels on this guitar aren't really too bad at all. I probably just could have left them, but there were a few that were a bit sharp. And again, we know we've got everything off. We're going to be doing a little fret polishing on it, so why not do it while it's off? And it won't need to be done again for quite some time, I'm thinking. But anyway, that's what that looks like. Just thought I'd show you that before we move forward. Okay, I'm going to be moving on to the polishing of the frets now. I didn't do any recrowning on these frets. They're in really good shape, and there really isn't a lot of wear on them, so I'm really just giving them a good cleaning. What I'm going to do in this case is use a combination of fret erasers and some high grit sandpaper. So I'm going to start with the fret erasers, and I'm going to start with the 400 grit. That's these ones here. And I'm going to work my way up through the grits. I'm going to go 400, 1000, 1500, and then 2000 for the fret erasers. And then I'm going to move up to 5000 for the sandpaper, this stuff here. And then 8000 on the sandpaper as well. Okay. And for the sandpaper, I'm going to be using, just going to zoom you out here. I'm going to be using the MusicNomad fret tracers finishing kit tool they have for doing the frets. Now they have their own sandpaper loops that slide over top of these tools here. But I find I've been using the tool with sandpaper just wrapped around it like this, and I do my polishing that way. I find it works really well. You have to hold the sandpaper, obviously, right? Because otherwise it's just going to fall off. But that's fine. I mean, you gotta hold the tool anyway. And the little grooves in the tool are to go over top of the fret, so you get coverage on the entire fret, which is pretty handy. Their kits come with 4 grits of sandpaper, which are quite handy to do a full fret job. But since we're just doing some polishing and cleaning, and I've got the sandpaper, I thought I'd just do it this way. And once I hit it with the 8000, it really put a nice shine on it. And I'll probably just stop there. I mean, that's plenty for that. So I'm going to do the rest of the guitar using those 4 grades of erasers and 2 grades of sandpaper. And when that's done, we'll move on to the fretboard. I'll also be hitting the sides of the frets, and I'll probably use this. This also comes in the kit, the fret finishing kit, the tracers kit, and that's just to again, their loops will fit around this little block here, but you can also use it with a piece of sandpaper, which is what I'm going to use. And you can use the hard plastic side for a nice hard surface, and if you want to use the softer spongier side to get in between, like around the frets and stuff, so when you run your block over top of the sides here to smooth everything off, you can use both sides to get a nice smooth finish across the edges of the fretboard here. So I'll be doing that as well, following Probably not all the grits. Maybe I might just do 1,000 and then maybe 2,000 and 5,000 on the side. It sort of depends. Like I'll every time I'll finish a grade, I'll kind of see how it looks, how it feels. And if it's good, I'll just leave it. And if it needs another pass, I'll just move up one more grit until I'm happy with what I'm feeling and how it looks and everything. So it's that's kind of, well, that's what I do anyway when I do my stuff. So once that's all done, I'll come back and give you a look at the finished guitar. But you can see it makes quite a bit of difference, like visually. And when all the frets are nice and polished and shiny like that, it's real easy to play, especially on a guitar where you're doing a lot of bending and stuff, right? So anyway, that's it for that. I will come back when we're done and show you the rest. Okay, I've finished polishing up the frets, and just thought I'd give you a quick look before we start cleaning up the fretboard. Yeah, they came out pretty nice. There was pretty minimal wear on these frets, so like I mentioned before, I didn't do any recrowning. I just did the fret ends with my fret dressing file and polished up the frets. And what I'm going to use now to clean the fingerboard is the Dunlop Fingerboard 01. I've used this before. I really like this stuff. It does a really good job. This container is pretty much empty, so when I went to order some more, all I could find was this kit that's got two products in it: the cleaner, the 01, and the conditioner, which is the 02. Now, I've never used this one before, so I'm going to try it on this guitar to see how it works. So it'll be kind of an experiment to see how it differs from the MusicNomad F1 oil or the Dunlop 65 lemon oil. So this will be a new thing. And also in that kit came a small piece of 8,000 grit sandpaper, which they recommend for polishing up frets and what have you. It's more of a fabric than a piece of sandpaper, which is pretty handy. But this little piece will not last you very long, I'll tell you that. But at least it's there, and they also give you a nice soft polishing rag. So that all comes in the kit. I'll put the links for the kit in the description if you're interested in giving that a try. So let me just reposition the camera here, and we'll get started on the fretboard. This bass guitar has been played a little more in this area here than in the higher section of the fretboard. So it is a little dirtier in this area. Just got a little more stuff to remove. But this stuff works pretty well. As you can see, it's taking off the surface area stuff and prepping it for the conditioning phase. I'm kind of curious to see how that conditioner varies from the MusicNomad F1 oil, because I do like the F1 oil. We use it quite a lot. But we will see what happens. All right, next up we're going to do the fretboard conditioner. And this applicator looks similar to the Dunlop 65, the lemon oil. I'll show you. It's got that dabbing cloth piece at the end. So you got to shake it up well. I've already shaken it up, and you just depress it. Don't squeeze the bottle until product starts coming out. And then it says to work it in with a clean rag. So let's just get some of this on the fretboard first. See how that works. And I'll work it in with a clean rag. Sometimes I'll use my finger, but let's just go with the instructions for now. I'm sure using your finger will be fine as long as you clean up after. Okay, that absorbed quite well, pretty quickly. Well, I can already see a difference in the wood. It's much darker. than the untreated sections. So whenever I applaud products like this, I like to go very light, especially with something new that I've never used before like this, and just to see how it reacts and how it looks. That absorbed really quickly. There's nothing sitting on the surface. So I'm going to continue that with the rest of the fretboard, give it one light coat. And let me just swing you over here so you can see the difference. So you can see how much darker it looks here and how much lighter it is here. Now I can already see it starting to dry a bit more. Some of that darker color is going away. I mean, that's normal, right? If it's wet, it's going to look darker. But I'm going to carry on with the rest of the fretboard in the same light application and let it sit for a bit. And then I'll probably put a second light coat on, and then I'll come back and show you how that looks. Okay, I'm done with the fretboard conditioning now. I ended up putting on 3 very light coats and just wiping off the excess with the rag. Pretty happy with this stuff so far. It goes on real easy. It's not overly oily, and applying it with the rag also helps, minimize the amount that you're leaving on there. But I mean, even after letting it sit and soak in, it wasn't overly oily. Like, it feels nice and dry when you touch it now. So yeah, I mean, I kind of like that stuff. It is got some oil based, what is they calling it here? Natural protective oils, conditioning the wood and bringing out its dark, rich character. So it doesn't really say what's in there, but it's obviously got some oils in it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm kind of liking it. Is it better than the F1 oil? I don't really know. I guess that's a preference, but I kind of like that dabber applicator is a little easier to use than just dripping the oil on like the F1 oil. But well, we'll see how it holds up. I'll use it a few more times and get kind of a feel for it. But for right now, I'm happy with that product. It works pretty good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe the guitar down. You can see it's got a lot of finger marks and stuff on it. I'm not going to do any polishing here. I'm just going to clean it and wipe it down. The same with the hardware. I've already just kind of wiped the bridge down, and same with the tuners. Once I got the new strings on, I'm going to give these a bit of a polish because they're kind of getting a little tarnished just from being used. But now's a good time to make sure your tuners are tight, your string trees are on nice and tight. If you wanted to lubricate the gears in the back of the tuners, that's up to you. I'll show you. If you wanted to put a little 3-in-1 oil or some kind of oil in there, and then we'll get the strings on and carry on with the setup after that. So I'm just going to use the MusicNomad Guitar 1 just to give it a clean and a polish, just to wipe the dirt and the finger marks off. And again, much easier to do with the strings off because you can get all inside here. Yeah, that's about as far as I'm going to go. I mean, there's a few little scuffs and scratches, but I'm not going to worry about that. It just needs a little cleanup. So let's get started with that. Just get a fresh rag here. And I'll put a link to this in the description as well. You can get them in smaller bottles. I buy the big one because I go through it quite a lot and I use it quite frequently. But they do make I think it's a 8-ounce spray pump bottle, which is pretty good and a little more affordable. But yeah, this stuff I think really does a nice job. You don't got to spend a lot of time polishing and rubbing it. Comes off easy. I don't know if that's showing up in the camera. You can see there's a few little scuffies here, but I'll worry about that another day. And I don't know if I mentioned this is my bass, so I'm just kind of giving it a new set of strings and a setup and just kind of cleaning it while I've got everything apart here. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just those strings have been on there for a while, and my buddy Glenn plays it when we jam. He plays the bass. He's a guitar player, but he plays the bass when we jam, and he uses this bass when he comes over. So I thought I'd surprise him with a nice new set of strings and a nice setup, and did a little fretwork on it for him. So this one's for you, buddy. Okay. So anyway, I'll do the same on the back of the guitar. Just give it a quick once over with the cloth, and then we'll get the new strings on. I think what I'll do is I'll do the setup video as a part two, because some people don't want to watch all the cleaning and the polishing and stuff. They just want to see the setup. So I'll break it into two parts, and part two will be the setup. So this will likely wrap up this part of the video, because everything past here will just be setup stuff. So I'll stop the video there, and when we come back, I'll begin the setup.